All right, let's see if this is on. I think it is. And I'm going to go to YouTube real quick. Give me a second, you guys. I want to make sure that I'm getting this out to the right people because this is a kind of important thing here. Today is February 24th. God, this month has gone by so damn fast. I don't know what to say, guys. It's just one of those things, man. Time is just passing by and we're not even paying attention to it passing by. So anyway, I'm Donovan Saadiq. I am the recovering Democrat, also known as the Black Yul Brynner. I know I need a little sun up there, but you know how it is. It's 80 degrees. My dog and cat are fighting right in front of me, and I hope they don't knock anything down. It's 74 degrees here in Southern California. I just wanted to, Benny, no. I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you guys can hear me, do me a favor. If you guys could do me a favor, please put a 1 in the chat because I put my mic in kind of late. So I'm kind of hoping it works here. So Benny, no. Sunlight, how are you? Can you hear me, Sunlight? If you can hear me, just hit up a 1 in the chat. I connected my mic at the last minute because I was looking at my bills and I was like, okay, great. Okay, so I'm on. All right, you guys, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, share this on your platforms, get the information out there. Also, don't forget to check out Sunlight's pages. She's on YouTube, obviously, and just subscribe there just to subscribe. We got to support each other and all this other stuff. Okay, real quick, what I want to talk about is the outrage and the how dare they fire a Black Joint Chiefs of Staff, very important guy. He was a former F-16 pilot. The outrage, how dare they? Oh my God, Trump is a racist. We already know that. If you believe that, you believe that. We've seen what he's going to do. He's on a revenge tour. If we are so concerned about Trump, why didn't the Democrats run a better candidate? Right? I know everybody's, it's amazing to me how they keep people, especially Black people, upset. When you're upset, you are one-minded. You only think about one thing because you're upset, your feelings, and you're not thinking clearly to logic, right? So the biggest thing is here, I'm hearing a lot of my military buddies and friends, they're all talking about, this guy's highly qualified and he got rid of him because of racism and all this other stuff. And oh my God, it's the end of the world. I get it. It's the end of the world for a lot of people, right? But this 4-star general, he's going to be okay. See, here's the thing we got to understand. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces, if you're a civilian, he is not your commander-in-chief because you're not in the military, okay? He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He can hire and fire whoever he wants. He can take a literal sergeant and put the sergeant in charge if it's for the betterment of the United States and the armed forces. He has that unilateral power. I don't know why people are getting upset at all of this. Let's go back through history. During the Civil War, how many generals did Lincoln go through before he found Grant? If you guys know the answer to that, or if you guys, understand what I'm saying, how many generals did Lincoln fire before he found Grant, who was out in the West? When Grant re-entered the military, he was a West Point graduate. He was fighting in the West. Vicksburg, anybody heard of that? Chickamauga, whatever you call it. He was fighting in the West and he was winning. All those generals that were in Washington and on the Eastern Seaboard, Meade, McClellan, all of these guys were failures, you know, and Lincoln was like, you got to go, you got to go. He tried to work with them, but they weren't doing what he wanted to do. He fired many, many generals. That is a power that the president, who is the commander in chief, has over the military. He can put anybody in and out, in and out, in and out. That's just how it rolls, right? There are no mechanisms that have been established to put him in there. Give you guys another example, a fairly recent example. I think Bush fired a general that didn't seem to want to play ball. But the most famous general this country has ever produced, you guys remember during the Korean War? General Douglas MacArthur was fired by Harry Truman. He didn't need a reason. I don't like him, get rid of him. He's not following my policy line, get rid of him. They have this unilateral power. Isn't it funny that when it is something that we think is a wedge issue, we want to bring it up like it's racism or whatever. So the reason I'm on this is I want to show you guys this. Let me see if I could pull it up. I hope I could pull it up. I'm very sure I could pull it up. It's on Facebook. Let me look over here real quick, you guys. I'm very sure I could pull it up. Me and my buddy, who was a chief master sergeant in the Air Force and a very smart guy, very passionate, just as passionate as I am about, you know, what's best for the country and what's best for, you know, military people. We were going back and forth. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to show you guys this. And I want your guys' opinion on this really, really quick. So let me go to present. I want to share this screen. So I want to go to the entire screen. Go here. And I'm going to go share. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to Facebook. Okay. This guy pulled this off of, a friend of mine pulled this off of wherever this was at. I don't know where it was at. But he said, think about this. Okay, we're talking about DEI. What is it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion, which should not be in the military whatsoever. We know the military system is based on slavery and all that other stuff, and it's white adjacent and all the other stuff. But the fact of the matter is, Black people choose to serve like myself, and it's not our system. It is their system, okay? In this guy, sit down. This dog's about to knock all my stuff over. This guy, his name is Covey here. He says, it is ironic because Trump firing a Black 4-star general as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, only to name a less qualified white man to the same job, is the reason why DEI policies exist in the first place. What do you guys think about that? I'm just asking a question. What do you think about what that person said? Take your emotion out of it. Let's just go. What is the whole point of these programs that is supposed to level the playing field, but they never do? Affirmative action, as we know, was set up specifically to level the playing field for Black people. But who benefited most from affirmative action? White women. Black people are less likely to benefit from programs that are for us because we open the door for everybody else. So now we have this, what you call a DEI program, right? These programs that are out here. Who do you think benefits most from DEI? White women. So my thing is this. This is why I'm against DEI and all of these programs that they keep setting up, right? I've never heard somebody say, well, it's like when I watched the DNC leadership conference. Well, you got to vote 2 females and a male and a non-binary. Hell to the no. You're suppressing my freedom to vote the way I want to vote, right? That's another story. But my point is, vote for the most qualified person. Period. I shouldn't have to vote. Well, they got to be gay. They got to be black. Oh, no. They got to be illegal. They got to be Hispanic. No, vote for the most qualified person. I don't want anybody in there that gets in there because of something indiscriminate about them. It's like I got a dirty nail here. Let's just say I don't, but let's say I do. Well, he's got to have a dirty nail. Come on. So I got in based on my dirty nail. Can I do the job? Can I do the job? But that's not my point. I'm trying to get you guys to think overall what's going on. Okay, overall. When I was in the military, there was no such thing as DEI. But there was a mandate to diversify units, especially flying units in the Air Force, with more people that are qualified, that if you can get those. Now, I sat on a pilot board, and I'm going to tell you guys, overall, Black people didn't apply to be pilots. That wasn't their thing. Most of the Black people that I saw, even some of my friends that came out of HBCUs, they came out with engineering degrees, and they wanted to go make the money. They had the military pay for their school. They did their time, and they went to go make the money, okay? A lot of Black people are just not interested in aviation. And as we see, aviation for humans is now going to be a secondary thing as AI is now taking over. So again, we've got these programs that are created. So DEI is created. He gets rid of a highly qualified Black candidate, right? He's been a Joint Chiefs of Staff for, I think, 2 years now. Doesn't want him. The president doesn't have to have him. The president could say, no, I don't want this guy. And now he's promoting a lesser ranked, and I don't know his background, but most general staff officers make the minimum requirement to be on the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This guy was a 3-star. I think he was retired, so they're pulling him out of retirement and coming back. And Benny, no. They're bringing him back into the military, and he has to go through the Senate confirmation. And another thing is, a lot of these people are being confirmed with the consent of Democratic senators. Nobody's calling that out. If you're the opposition and this guy is Hitler, where is the fight? So anyway, they bring this guy that is less qualified, less rank, less everything. And isn't that the whole point of DEI? Isn't that the whole point of DEI? A less qualified candidate is given the opportunity based on his color, his lower ranking, and this, not on his merit, on his color and everything like that, to now go into a position that he's not qualified for. How can we be against that? But at the same time, it's okay when it's a Black person or a woman or whatever. I'm just asking questions, because it doesn't make sense to me. This does not make sense to me. Hit that like button, you guys. There are a lot of people on here, and I don't really care about the people, coming on here, because I'm not here. I want the information. I want you guys to think critically. How can we sit here and say DEI is a must and it's something that we need to do to level the playing field, and then when it's used for other groups that don't look like us, it's an outrage? That's what I'm saying, because a lot of Hispanics identify themselves white. A lot of Asians are white adjacent. You got Armenians, you've got this, you've got that. You know, sunlight. Yeah, let Trump get his own road. Right. You know, he's going to do his own thing, whatever the deal is at the end of the day. But why is it that when it comes to victimhood for us, it's okay to get us into these programs, but it's not okay to get these other people into their programs? So my answer and my solution to this, as I'm talking to my friend, is I've always been taught by my parents and by my mentors, I have to do it better than anybody else. I know for a fact, Black people, we can outwork anybody. This is why they don't want a level playing field. And they put these barriers up to keep us out of these industries, right? That's what I'm saying. How can we say, oh, look, Black people are great and we're all this other stuff when we really mentally don't believe it? Either we're great or we're not. I don't want to, trump my own horn. But when I went through flight training, it was horrific for me. Think about it. I'm dealing with instructors that are in my parents' age bracket and older who don't want me there. Now, what I went through was nothing to what the Tuskegee Airmen went through. God forbid, they opened that door for me. But just because they opened the door for me, that didn't stop the horrific things that happened to me to wash me out of the program. Okay? So again, I'm going to show this to you guys one more time. I want to show this to you guys one more time, and I'm going to put it on full screen, okay? This is what this guy's saying. It is ironic because Trump firing a Black 4-star general as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff only to name a less qualified white man to the same job is the reason why DEI policies exist in the first place, right? Right or wrong? You know? Wait, somebody sent me something. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, but right or wrong? We champion these programs that is supposed to benefit us. I'm going to stop sharing all this stuff. We champion these programs that are supposed to help specifically Black people and minorities. And the only people that really benefit the most are white women. And when I was in aviation and I sat on some boards, I saw a huge influx of white women applying to be pilots. And your average logical thinker, you know what I'm talking about. There was a big surge of white women applying to be pilots because the opportunity was opened on the opportunity of that aspect, which was supposed to help us. Yeah, CQ Brown, been around forever. He was awesome, and I appreciate his dedication service to this country and us airmen. Time for new blood. Yeah, again, your average logical thinker, she was in the military, and guess what? She retired. The military went on. I was in the military. I retired. The military went on. My mother always told me, do not ever think you're expendable to an organization. Do not ever think you're expendable. As soon as you're gone, there is somebody there to replace you. And then in some cases, you got computers that are now coming in replacing other people. But why is it that we get outraged when the very program that we say, yeah, DEI, and they put a few of us in there. That's great. But overwhelmingly, all these white women come in and they benefit. It is a fact, you guys. It's undisputable. Everybody knows this is true, okay? We know this is true. Affirmative action. Nobody benefited more from affirmative action than white women. Now they have this DEI thing. White women and others will benefit from that program more so than Black people. It's just true. But now we're outraged that, oh, hey, look, he's bringing in a less qualified person to replace this guy. What are we doing here, you guys? Isn't that the whole point of the program? So either we have the program or we don't, or we start getting back to our roots as Black people, and we just outwork everybody like we often have always done. This is why I'm against these programs, because it is a backdoor way of getting their people in. Unless that program is specific to a group, we're not going to benefit. We're just not. If you guys agree with me, great. If you don't agree with me, I don't know what to tell you. It's just logical. Your average logical thinker says facts. Beverly White, how are you? Good to see you. Your average logical thinker, like I said, she was in the military. The Air Force has the highest number of women per branch. I think women are like 13 to 15% of the Air Force. It's fact, right? But let me tell you something. Some of those Marine chicks, woo, when you see a fine, woo, I've seen a couple. Like I said, they weren't around in my day, but when I go to the base down to Camp Pendleton or something, oh my God, I'd be like, woo, beautiful and fit. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Anyway, don't get me started on that. Your logical thinker says, my flight chief and E8 told me that when I was coming to work while on convalescent leave. He said, you can be replaced, stay home and heal. Realest words ever. Yeah, the military is going to go on. It's going to go on. Your job, you are not that expendable unless you're the owner. If you're the owner and you say, you know, I'm closing up the, yeah, that's a different thing. But I'm saying when you're a worker, come on, man. Oh, I've seen some ugly, well, I'm a little bit older than you. In my day, when the Marines were talking about they were looking for a few good men, they were not lying. That applied to the women, okay? Trust me. Trust me. But I'm confused. DEI is okay in this situation, but it's not okay in this. This is what they do. Show me a program that is set up to level the playing field and get Black people into that field, and we've benefited. You can't say affirmative action because white women benefited from that. DEI, white women benefited for that. Your average logical thinker, you were an aviation person. Tell me if I'm lying. There was this big influx of white women in aviation, and I sat on boards, and I'm telling you, Black people did not apply to be pilots. They just didn't compared to other groups because, you know, I'm afraid to fly. I'd rather take the bus. You know, we've been indoctrinated into these things. When you saw, your average logical thinker, when you saw a Black pilot, right? Didn't it make you feel like, wow, you know? And they always stood out in an air crew. Am I lying? In an air crew, you'll see like 4 white guys and 1 Black. Am I lying? Because in my crew, I never flew on an all-Black crew. I was usually the lone Black person. You know what I mean? So again, maybe I don't understand DEI, but here's a white guy, less qualified. We're going to put him in the position. I mean, he meets the minimum requirements because as a general officer, you're going to, you know, go to the war college. You're going to go to whatever the minimums are. Most generals, brigadier to full general, they all, you know, have to fill those boxes. So again, he met the minimum, but is he as highly qualified as this guy or that guy? No, but there's a DEI program that says, you know what? I'm going to elevate you. Now we're mad. Now we're mad because this Black guy lost his job so that the disadvantaged white guy could get it. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Hit that like button, you guys. You're about to go, I don't understand how it works, Donovan. That's why they just don't know how it works, Donovan. That's why they are upset. And I don't even know how it works because I'm confused. But it was set up for disadvantaged people to do it. And again, I saw an influx of white women who are technically a minority group using that very system to get their numbers in. You know what? To be honest, I probably can remember 2 black chicks ever coming across my desk applying to be pilots. Ever. And then when they didn't get it the first time, we never heard from them again. I can't tell you the number of times flying units didn't they didn't call me back, or they just disrespected and slammed the door right in my face. I can't tell you the times. But the key is, again, it's like the VA. You don't give up. You keep going. You keep doing it, because these units talk to each other. Hey, did this guy come over here? Yeah, there was this guy that came on, he's out of Alaska or something like that, blah, blah, blah. They all talk to each other. They all make those calls. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows this. Oh, yeah. And I can tell you, in a lot of my situations in some of my units, I didn't want to go to Alaska, but it was the only unit that offered me an opportunity to commission and to fly. I am a California kid. I did not want to go to Alaska, but because I wanted to fly that badly, I went to Alaska. And guess who told me to do it? It was a tech sergeant recruiter for the Alaska Air Guard, Sergeant Gregory. And he took me, because I was like, no, I'm not going up there. Fuck that. That's too cold. Now, Alaska, that ain't me. This man calls me. I'm stationed at Travis Air Force Base. This man calls me and says, I need you to fly up here. And I flew up there, went to his office, which was in the mall, because he was a recruiter, the mall in Anchorage. And he took me in his office. He closed the door. This is what he told me. He said, Donovan, this unit, according to the commanding general at the time of the Air National Guard, said that the flying units must reflect the community that they come from, right? He wanted more people in there. He said, this unit called you to join them. He said, Negro, this is exact words. He said, I'm using Negro, but you guys know the word I really want to say. He told me, he said, Negro, and your average logical thinker, please back me up on this. If I'm lying, I'm flying. How many units do you know that are going to call you to join them? Because let me tell you guys, in the military, in the Air National Guard, and the reserves, 96% of flying units are white Caucasian. 96%. And guess what? They have applications day and night. They can pick to whoever they want. I'm talking about flight engineer positions, loadmaster positions, navigators back in the day, navigators, pilots. All of these positions, they've got people lined up applying. The Alaska Air Guard calls me, and this guy tells me, how many opportunities do you think you're going to have to get into this position and do it? And I'm like, nah, man, my pride, I'm a young guy. Nah, fuck that. No, I don't want to do it. When I first came up here, they told me no and just shoot me off and whatever. He said, fuck all that. Fuck all that. He said, you're getting an opportunity. Take it. Based on your own merit. It's up to you to pass the courses. Get in here, do what you need to do, sign the contract. I had to stay up there for, what did I sign? I had a 6-year contract. I didn't have my degree. That was back in the day when I didn't have to have my degree initially. So they commissioned me and I got my degree later. I don't think they do that anymore. And he said, just do it. I had to be up there 6 years. And I had to finish my degree. God, that was a nightmare. But anyway, how many opportunities are you going to have, Negro? He said, take that bullshit aside, go out there and do what the fuck it is you need to do. How badly do you want to be a pilot? I was stationed in Alaska for 6 years. That's how badly I wanted to be a pilot. And guess what? There were no other calls that came in. I went from Travis, all the flying squadrons in Travis, all the flying squadrons at March, all the flying squadrons at Norton, all the flying squadrons at McCord. They all slammed the door in my face. And I just had happened to gone through TDY, through Elmendorf, and just went to the airport where I knew the Air National Guard was and asked if there were any positions and what would I need to do to go through it and stuff like that. And I guess some way, somehow, they said, this guy has a background that we can work with. And, you know, he's most likely to be successful. And I interviewed like everybody else. I was going to Embry-Riddle. And I really think the fact that I was going to Embry-Riddle was the deciding factor, because I can tell you, somebody who sat on a pilot board, when you are either an academy graduate or you're an Embry-Riddle graduate, your application goes here. Number one, of course, and your average thinker will tell you, the academy guys, they get catered to first because it's the connections that they have, okay? So the academy guys are first, but the number two guys and girls are the Embry-Riddle graduates, because they know those people are specifically trained in aeronautics, be it communication, be it whatever, but you went to Embry-Riddle. It's like going to Harvard. When you're in aviation and you say, I went to Embry-Riddle, that's like saying I went to Harvard. And I think that was the difference, but I still had to do the work. Okay. So, wait. Your average thinker says, oh, yes, when I was going to ERAU, they kept telling me right now is the best time to apply to pilot school. Right. And right now there's a pilot shortage. Average goes, yes, the pride seeing a black pilot or an officer was something else. Exactly. You saw that black guy and you're like, wow, you know, oh, wow, damn. And you see them in their flight suit, you know, and they're walking and stuff, because we know as airmen, and when I was enlisted, you know, my dad was a flight engineer in the Marine Corps. My stepdad was a flight engineer. So I've been around aviation all my life. But the point is, you knew there was something special about that uniform in the Air Force. When you had that uniform on, you were special. Even if you were a loadmaster, even if you were a radio operator, if you had that uniform on, you were doing something else, okay? Because they just don't hand that uniform out. Your average says, I wanted to be an aerospace psychologist. I let alcoholism and 304 activities get in the way. You can still do that, though. That's the point. And it's not 304. It's what I tell Demetra. It's military support. Military support. And speaking of Demetra K, they picked her ass up yesterday. She will be on the plane getting her ass up out of California, deported back to Houston today. Her plane leaves at 2 o'clock. Told you guys I'd get her ass up out of here. Anyway, shout out to Tech Sergeant Gregory. Yeah, I mean, I have a story. When you really want to tell it, I really do have a story. Your average thinker, facts. I dealt with flyers all the time. Word of mouth is who you know. Hey, cooking with Miss D. Hey, Donovan, just saying hello while at work. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And I'm going to tell you right there, if you guys look, that's my Embry-Riddle degrees, associate and bachelor's, right? And then down here is that's a San Diego, no, that's San Bernardino aviation degrees, and so on, so forth. I got so many degrees running around here. When are you going to write a memoir, Donovan? I don't know. I don't think I could write that book and be successful. It's like the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim. They don't want these secrets getting out. They don't want the secrets getting out. So, but, you know, that's my question. They set up these programs and we are the less likely to take advantage of them. So why bother? Why bother? Why are we getting upset? You got a madman in the White House, right? He's going to do what he wants to do. White supremacy, right? If that's what you believe he's doing. And the Democrats aren't doing anything about it. As the commander-in-chief, he can do, and your average logical thinker, please check me on this. The commander-in-chief could remove and replace whomever he wants. Again, for those of you guys that came on late to the podcast, how many generals did President Lincoln go through before he found Grant? How many? How many generals did he fire before he found Grant? Do you guys know? You guys want to know what was one of the biggest problems of the Civil War? It was the fact that these generals knew each other from West Point. They all knew each other. So they knew their mannerisms, and they knew, how, if they're aggressive, if they're not aggressive. That was one of the factors. McClellan, who was, the commanding general, he was one of the first, big ones out there. He was a great organizer, but he wasn't a great battle-tested general. He's a guy you want to organize and get the materials and get the troops. He was good at that, but when it came to actually fighting, he sucked. He went through Hooks, Meade, Beauregard, Burnside. That's 4 generals right there. Grant was fighting in the West. So why are we getting upset that the president, who has unilateral power as the commander-in-chief, again, of the armed forces, not of the citizens, he could replace anybody he wants. He could take your average logical thinker right now and appoint her as the Joint Chiefs of Staff with the consent of the Senate. And guess what? The Democrats ain't fighting it, so the chances of her being confirmed are great. But he has that power, you guys. He has that power. But do you see how they keep us upset and looking like lunatics? This is how we look. Sorry about that. I got this mouse where it does the screening on the thumb, and if you hit the thing wrong, it'll click you out. But anyway, but they have us looking like lunatics. Oh, DEI is a great thing and whatever. And then he uses DEI as an excuse to get this white guy in there, and it's not right. I'm confused, you guys. Your logical thinker says they need to chill because Trump will under firing all these people and rehiring others before his 4 years is up. I couldn't keep up with White House staff his first term in 2016. Yeah, he's just doing what he does as a corrupt businessman. Hey, you're just cannon fodder. Who cares? But can we please make up our mind? If we're going to do these programs, we should know other groups are going to benefit from it. So why do them? Let's outwork these people just based on what it is. Oh, Donovan, we need these programs because it helps equity and inclusion. How are we being included if white women benefit more than anybody else? That benefits the white race. And I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just trying to say, how does that help us? But then it's outrageous and we get all upset. I'm confused, you guys. I'm confused. I don't know, average logical thinker, if you saw this, but let me show you again. Let me share the screen here real quick. I just want to show you in case you didn't see it. Okay, hold on here. I want to share the screen. This is what we're talking about. Some guy put this out, and as you see, we have General over here, right? And this is his replacement. This guy was retired, 3-star, and he's coming out of retirement, and he's been nominated as the Joint Chiefs guy, right? But this is what this guy said. It is ironic because Trump firing a black 4-star general as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff only to name a less qualified white man to the same job is the reason why DEI policy exists in the first place. What am I missing here? multifaceted Emmy with SFB, and I'm not sure what the acronym is. He says, Donovan, I'm sorry. Donovan, continue to clarify DEI and all things political. I share your channel with all the Black men I care about, so through you they can be informed. I heard Butchware may run. Your thoughts? Yeah, I heard he may run as well, and yeah, but unfortunately, we've got a lot of you got so many Hispanics and Asians here that Black people have been gentrified out of existence in California. It's just so sad. Michelle W says Hedgepath, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and a few others are all DEI hires. Yeah, Kimberly was effing with Junior for years. She didn't secure the Trump name, so he gave her an ambassador job. Yeah, she is not qualified, and she was married to Gavin Newsom. Isn't it funny how all of these people seem to be connected? Isn't this amazing? She was married to Gavin Newsom. Isn't that strange? Yeah, okay, so your average thinker, do you see what I'm saying? That's why I had to come on here and talk about it. It's ironic. The very program that we are bitching and moaning about, they're using against us to put their people in through the back door. Right? He's less qualified. He has the minimum qualifications as a general officer. He was a 3-star. So, they could promote him and put him in there, give him another star, make him the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But he has the minimum qualifications. So what's everybody bitching about? He's a less qualified white man. And if you put all the minority groups together, white people are close to being a minority. Yeah, Michelle W. said, it's obvious that Trump is putting all yes men and women around him. Yes, of course he is. He learned from the first administration when they were saying, well, you never ran for office before, so you need to listen to us, the Republicans, and we'll tell you how to do it. And when he did that, look at the people that turned against him. I mean, Michelle, we all know, why would I put a person that isn't down for me next to me to run my company or to do certain things? I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is, isn't that what he's supposed to do? What would you do? What would I do? What would your average logical thinker do? I'm going to surround myself with people that are going to look out for me. Simple as that. If I ever became like a president or something, I've always said this, one of the first people I would hire as my advisor is my Uncle Bennett. I would hire my Uncle Bennett because he has wise wisdom and counsel. He's the first person. Facts Not Feelings says, Facts Not Feelings, hey, how you doing? Peace and love, family. Black people only constitute 4% of DEI supervisory positions in the workforce compared to 76 for white people, according to a report in Black Enterprise magazine from September 26, 2023. There it is. There it is. Yeah, Sunlight says, I don't agree with Dr. Ware on immigration. Michelle N says, will you discuss Joy Reid cancellation? Okay. Michelle, just for you, I'm going to talk about Joy Reid. You guys all heard Joy Reid got canceled. She called her Sororo president, who was leaving California this morning, and they were all big up in her. If these people are so talented nine and stuff, why are you working for other people? That's what I don't understand. Using my logic, if you're so damn talented, why are you working for other people? Shouldn't you have built your own platforms and stuff? But I digress. Michelle N., I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to sum it up for you. When white supremacy is done with their tools, do you know what they do? They break them. They're done with it. That's the Joy Reid thing. They're done with her. They're done. They're done. Roland Martin, same thing happened to him. Done. Now he's on YouTube, the Chitlin circuit, and he thinks he's better than us. And we've seen that he's getting all this money, still doing the same platform. And hopefully Joy Reid will get some of that Democratic money, and hopefully she built a following, and some people are going to follow her, I guess, hopefully. But again, it is what it is. These black bootlicks keep forgetting that when white supremacy is done with them, they break their tools. Got rid of her just like that. Remember, what's her name? Perry, Melissa Perry, got rid of her. Look at all the black people that are just gone. And it's mostly black women. And they keep telling me the Democratic Party is for black people. Joe Biden let all of these black prosecutors and attorney generals do all his dirty work and didn't even leave them a pardon. And people are still crashing out for the Democratic Party. When they show you who they are, believe them. So I don't feel sorry for Joy Reid. I really don't. That race baiting and stuff, her days were numbered. And again, they lost so badly in the election. I mean, they got wiped out in the election. I'm sorry. They got wiped out. Yeah, they had a bad candidate, but Joy, Bakari Sellers, all of these bootlicks' job was to get black people on board to vote and continue to vote for nothing and Democrats, right? They lost more black people in this election than the last election. So she had to go. She had to go. And this is the writing on the wall for a lot of these Democratic operatives. When white supremacy is done with their tools, they break them. They're done. She's done. Yeah, Tavis Smiley. Hold on, you guys are starting to type now. Damn, I didn't want to be on here this long. Exactly. Your Black says exactly. Multifaceted media. I'm assuming that's what it means. It is the same old okey doke. Yeah, the rules don't apply to them, just to us. This is why his unqualified granddaughter is meritless playing in the golf tournament. Yes. See, here's my thing, you guys. People, here's my thing. I've lived in this country. This year will be 55 years. I live in the most racist country in the United States. I am part of a group of people that are citizens of the United States that came here unwillingly and were enslaved. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that this is my open enemy. A lot of us have forgotten that because they gave us a little house. They gave us a nice little job. They gave us this. They gave us that. Oh, look, I'm the first in my neighborhood. Oh, look, it's historic. I'm the first. I'm the first. I'm the first. That's still your open enemy. I have a lot of my redneck friends that I've served in the military with. I don't go to their house. They don't come to my house. We have an understanding. When it all is said and done, yes, you're my battle buddy. Hey, I depended on you. You depended on me. We got it done. But when it comes down to it, he's going to be for his people. I'm going to be for my people. Why is it that we're forgetting this? Why is it that we are forgetting where we live? Do you guys realize the Nazis studied apartheid here in the United States to how to deal with the Jews based on how America treated black people? Are you guys aware of that? Of course, my audience is. Of course you guys are. And that's what these Negroes keep forgetting. Oh no, or you categorize yourself. Oh, I'm gay first, so I'm a Democrat first, so I'm gay, so yeah, I'm black, but I'm gay, so I'm in a different category. Nigga, you still gay. Nigga, you still black. You're still black. Oh, I'm a divester. I'm married to a white man. You're still black. You're still black. Michelle says, I understand that, but some of them are not qualified, and he did away with DEI. Yes. There's nothing new under the sun, Michelle. That's what I'm saying. But when we champion DEI programs, it's a back door to justify putting their people on that make us look stupid. Like, wait a minute, you guys said we need diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is what we're doing. This white hillbilly white man is less fortunate than this very skilled black general F-16 pilot. The white guy didn't have the same advantages. That's what they're doing. And all of these white women are coming in the back door. Because guess what? They're minorities. Oh, I'm a woman and I'm white. See, they're using their woman thing because all you ladies, the sisterhood, champion all that shit. But not even in the military, even in the civilian world. Let's just say the civilian world. She gets the CEO position or the COO position, right? She ain't bringing that money back to the black neighborhood. She's bringing that money back to the white neighborhood. When the Asians get in there, they're bringing that money back to their community, their household. We got to wake up, you guys. We got to wake up. And, you know, we are playing, I'm going to call our black leadership snack pack throwers. These are the people that take snack pack Jell-O pudding and they throw it against the wall all day. They're not strategically thinking about what they're doing. They're just living for the moment. They're not strategically thinking. There's a difference between strategic thinking, tactical thinking. Totally different. Tactical is at the moment. Strategic is the long-term plan, right? Our people don't think like that. We think tactical. Oh, I just won this battle. But you just won a war. You know, you won a battle, but the war is still going on. And you're dancing. And, you know, it's funny. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she said, these Negroes are still partying. They're still, all this shit is going on with Trump. And these Negroes are still going to their birthday parties. They're still going on their cruises. They're still, but yet this man is a threat to black people, according to some people. And yet their lifestyle hasn't changed. Make it make sense. Had to be really terse with my dog, Beanie. Come here. I spent all day yesterday fixing the drip system that he tore up. So sit down. He likes to sneak out when I'm not doing the thing. So Michelle says, yeah, okay, exact. Sunlight says, exact. Get over here. Get over here. Hold on, guys. You aren't going nowhere. Lay your ass down. Had to close the door. He ain't going nowhere. Sunlight says, exactly. Michelle says, the very thing that Trump complained it is he is doing. Nothing wrong with having people around you who support you. Anyone would do that, but I would want them to be qualified. Michelle, come on. We've been in this country long enough to know it has always been less qualified white people in positions. Okay, I'm the CEO of a company. My drugged out son, like Hunter Biden, drugged out son is, you know, going to jail, this, that. Then he finally matures, slows down, gets married, has a few drugged out kids. What do? They make him executive vice president of the company. Good example, the Trump Organization, which is a family organization. It isn't as big as people think it is. It's not Amazon. It's a small run family company. Are all his children holding positions in that company? They are. They're not low-level positions. They're high-level positions. It's always been that way. I'm not saying it's right, but there's nothing new under the sun. They've always had less qualified people. Always. When I went through pilot training, and you know how people sit and you kind of sit and talk about your background and this, that, this, right? I saw people, in my opinion, that should have never, been selected, and yet they were. And when I was eligible finally to be on a pilot board and I actually got to see what was going on, they were selecting people because, oh, that's Colonel so-and-so's son. And I would be like, so? I would be the lone voice that always say no, 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 no. A black person showed up, yeah, let's give him a shot. Hispanic showed up, yeah, let's give him a shot. Rarely any black women that would show up. But I was literally told that. We went into the back room to argue, and they were like, Don, you're always saying no. And it was explained to me, this particular applicant was Colonel so-and-so's son or daughter. I was like, what does that mean? Well, that's the Colonel's son. So we're supposed to, he doesn't even have 1,000 hours flying. He doesn't even have his private pilot license. But the other applicants, you want all of these requirements, but for some reason, magical reason, we're going to let this guy slide. It's just not that, he's going to get it. It's just, we're going to do this. And I was always outvoted. Always outvoted. Yeah, Michelle, they did the same thing with Travis Smiley, the Chitlin Circuit YouTube. Yeah. Gerald James, Kamala will be running for governor. Will Joy Reid join her staff and plot her comebacks? I doubt that. You know what? If she is that dumb to think she is that popular here in California, did you guys see she was drunk again? She went to some kind of play or something. I'm not sure if it was here in LA. I know it wasn't. It could have been in New York. I don't know. But she was drunk again. Did you guys see that? Oh my God, it was embarrassing. Yeah, your avological thing says slap in the face. Business as usual for Sleepy Joe. Yeah. Damon Reeves, Shalom, B1, Beverly, but Donovan, if you don't vote for, then you're not black. Yeah, exactly. Make it again. You guys, we look like lunatics. We're saying we need this in one breath, and then when they use it against us, it's an outrage. Donovan, you don't look a day over 53 and a half. Well, I'm thank you, because I thought you were going to say 63 and a half. Yeah, facts are not feelings. I second what Donovan just said. Facts are not feelings. Integration was the worst thing Black people could do in America. That's what I'm saying. We keep talking about how great we are as Black people. Well, show me. Show me how great we are. I'm going to show you how great I am. Explain to me how somebody who did not know any math get through pilot training. I did that. I did that. I call it the what's that Star Trek, Captain Kirk, the Kobayashi Maru scenario? And your avological thinker, you know how we have the CBTs, right? And when I was in, they just started getting to the CBTs, right? And you go in there, you just, they ask you the question that, in the test bank. And I knew nothing about math. I'm serious. I got through high school with business math because I was too busy having fun with my friends. C student, I didn't care, but it doesn't mean I was stupid. I was an underachiever on purpose. Because if you're always an A student, what is the expectation? The minute you get a B or a C, oh, what are you doing? Everybody gets it. I always stayed in the middle. I always stayed in the middle. It's like being in the military when you join. What do they tell you when you go to boot camp? Don't volunteer for anything and don't stand out. Try to stay in the middle, right? You want to stay in the middle because you don't want to be, selected out. That snake pit is no joke, right? Of course, I went to boot camp with a Jerry curl on my head. What was I thinking? But anyway, Jerry curl. Anyway, so, okay, wait, the CBT story. So they started having the CBTs, right? I knew nothing about math, and I had failed my portion of the math portion block of the program. Your average logical thinker, I was at Altus, Oklahoma. They told me I got a retest on Monday, right? They said, have my bags packed because if I wash out on Monday, I am leaving straight from the class to the airport back to my unit. And like I know, when somebody cross trains into something else and you fail and you got to come back, excuse me, very embarrassing. Sorry about that. It's very embarrassing when you got to come back. Very embarrassing. So what I did was I went to that weekend, I sat in the CBT and I memorized the test bank. True story. I memorized, I think, a CBT, they ask you the same question 4 or 5 different times. I think the test bank was like 600, 700 questions or something like that total. I memorized the test bank and I ended up passing. Past that block, I was good to go after that. Okay. Don P says, not me. I will never forget. Yeah, you're allowed to. I got to know how to navigate. Just use your GPS. We don't even do that stuff anymore. Just use your BP. As long as you got a satellite up there, you're going to be okay. Multifaceted says, we don't agree with all the points of any representative. We've tried the Dems and Republicans expecting something different. We have to unite on the things we do agree about and put pressure about the views we don't. Exactly. When are we going to start depending on ourselves? Democrats ain't doing shit for us, excuse my language. Republicans, we know ain't going to do nothing for us. So maybe we should depend on ourselves. All these talented nines and this black boule and these MFers haven't built anything. They're not building jobs. Where are the black jobs? When a white person opens a business, they open a business to employ their people. When a Hispanic open a business, they open a business to employ their people. We are the only people, if we do open a business, we'll hire a white, we'll hire a Hispanic, we'll hire an Asian. They don't hire us. They open businesses to sustain their people. Damon Reeves, it's the divided snakes of America. See, and here's the thing, you guys. Have you guys noticed there's a lot of veterans in all of these chats, especially the black veterans? And it seems to me, and maybe it's just me, maybe because we were in the military or whatever, and we see the bullshit that's actually happening, and we all seem to sound the same. We all seem to sound the same. I'll admit this. I was a working officer. I was not selected for whatever reasons to not be in a command structure. Even though I was more skilled, more experienced, more educated than the people that were. Which was fine by me because, as you guys know in the military, you have logical thinker, Damon. As you guys know, the less babysitting and bullshit that you got to deal with, the better. The better. My only problem I had was because of my maintenance background, when they took me off of the flight line and I couldn't fly as much as I wanted to. I was only flying bare minimum, and I was more of an ops person, dealing with the training and making sure everybody else is going on their trips and they're getting their training and getting their medicals done and stuff like that. I was pissed because it's like, that's the pattern I had to go. And as an officer, you do what's in the Air Force's best interest. If it's better for you to come out, and then now that I'm gone, they got warrant officers now, they've got straight line, I was just born in the wrong time, I guess. Fun fact, Daryl Jinks says, the Jews never forgot the Holocaust. They're arresting 100-year-old German men to this day. Yeah, exactly. And then why is it, Daryl, when we talk about what happens to us, we need to get over that? Oh, y'all need to get over that slavery stuff. That was 100 years. None of y'all were slaves. Make it make sense, man. Michelle says, white folks get promoted for mediocrity, but black folks, we have to be exceptional. Yes, that's what I'm saying. When did we forget that? When did we forget that? I'm going to tell you guys, even in college, I have 12 degrees, right? Nobody could outwork me. Nobody. Especially when it's something that we really want to do, that we have a passion for. Nobody could outwork me. We got all these black lawyers, but none of them are arguing to the Supreme Court on our behalf. Explain that. We got all these black engineers, and they're working for these white companies. Where are the black companies? But the talented 10th is telling us we got to vote more Democrats in. Come on, it doesn't take a homeless person who has nothing to his name to see what's going on out here. Michelle Lynn says, California Legislative Black Caucus unveils 2020 reparations bill package. Yeah, they are trying to distract us again with nothing. Think about this, you guys. All of the reparations ideas across the nation, all of them, Chicago, South Carolina, wherever they're at, Texas, wherever they're at, has Black people ever received one dime? That's telling. That is telling. All of these people studying reparations, and not $1 has been issued on our behalf. Not one. Why aren't we asking these questions? But then a 4-star general, highly deemed guy gets fired, and we're all supposed to be upset about it. A military guy, okay, who serves at the discretion of the president. You don't think that general is going to be okay? Your average logical thinker, Damon, the basic general is making over $100,000 a year, plus his incentives and whatever else he gets. This guy's walking straight into Boeing and Northrop Grumman and the defense industry. He's going to be on the board and the chairman, he's going to be on a board of some defense contractor. That's crazy. It is crazy. Multifacet says, maybe this is why we are here. It will force us to wake up, paying attention, and make some real changes. Yes, the longer Donald Trump is in office, the more people are going to walk away from the Democratic Party and realize we are all we got. That is the whole point of Donald Trump. If we had had Kamala Harris go in there, those borders would be busted completely open, and we would have been done as a people. We are now seeing we are out here by ourselves, and we are now seeing these elected public servants that look like us. Your Jasmine Crockett, the clown. These people aren't for us. They aren't for us. Yeah, Beverly. Yeah, he's a cute dog, but your average logical thinker. I think I get why they think this. Although we are the smallest group in the US, we are affected the most when it comes to economics. So they apply it to DEI. We are negatively affected the most under DEI cuts. Right. That's what I'm saying. So what? Big deal. How many of you got Uncle Rufus in the 80s and the 90s, lost the job? Yeah, they were doing cutbacks. We're the last ones hired, we're the first ones fired, right? Lost my job. Oh, okay. You have to go out there and get another one. Go get another hustle. This is nothing new to us. Facts, not feelings. You know some Black people who say Trump is a threat, but yet they do not change their lifestyle to address the threat level. Why? Because they know it's a lie and they go along with the lie. Exactly. Exactly. My mom was sitting there talking. My mom is in her 70s. She's 20 years older than me. And almost to the day. Mom was born in June. I was born in May. So we're almost 20 years apart. And she has 2 twin brothers that are 3 days older than me. So, but yeah, she was saying that, they're still going on cruises. Donald Trump is such a threat, but their lifestyle, they're not adjusting their lifestyle to the threat. It's crazy. Damon says it's a Ponzi. Yeah. Legacy bullshit. Yeah. It's just, your average logical thinker says, at least you tried, Donovan. That's better than just going along, but your hands were tied. It is what it is. Exactly. It is what it is. But you know what I would tell those applicants, though, that didn't make it, that were Black or, whatever? I would tell them what they needed to do to make their resume stronger and their application stronger. And I would always tell them, do not come in here without your private pilot. Get your private pilot, because that right there, you already know a lot of the aeronautical stuff. So when you get to the other, I would give them the game. And I had no problem giving it to them. Michelle says, I think Kamala is is on something else, and it is not alcohol. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw that, man. She was drunk again. I mean, her eye went this way, and she was talking that gibberish, and those theater people were like, yeah, It was embarrassing. Oh, my God. Multifaceted. I did hear about her drunken stupor. Assimilation has ruined us. We became comfortable, and how soon we forget. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, women, I don't need no man. But yet women, you know what I mean? Ladies, I get it. I get the disappointment in relationships. I get all of that. But it's evident to me in the times that we are living, y'all need men, okay? Y'all need a man to help you provide and pay those bills, because y'all are being evicted and foreclosed on at a rate that is 2 to 3 times higher than your counterpart. Those are the facts. Yeah, you're buying the houses, but you're losing them too. We never tell the whole story. Multifaceted, I'm an Army vet. Yeah, my mom was in the Army. They have some beautiful women. Ooh, one of the best Army bases ever. Oh my God. In Arizona, God, what was the name of that base? You guys sent your clinics there. We flew in on a C5 and we were at the BX at Fort Huachuca. Oh God, I love that base. Damn, those girls. Anyway, snuck into the NCO club. I was good to go. Anyway, memories. The memories are great. Fort Huachuca. I love me some Fort Huachuca. And then we were there for 4 days, and we went down to the OK Corral. I think it was like 45 minutes away, drive where the Earp brothers and stuff are. I mean, love that area. Just loved it. You're about to come to Multifit. Thank you for your service. Maureen Chavez. Hello, everyone. Damon says, I lost E grades for being outspoken. I lost a grade for being outspoken. Thank you. Multifaceted. You guys talk to each other. Hello, Damon. Angela Destiny, welcome back. Donovan, right on as usual, 100%. Your astrological thinker, Damon Reeves. You guys, the general will be okay. Yeah, the general's he's gonna eat. But here's the crazy thing about it. The very people that are outraged about him being fired the other day, when I showed them that post, and let me show you guys again what we're talking about. When I showed them this post, they went silent. No reply, no smart aleck remark, no nothing. Because if they'll give you 112 reasons why we need DEI. 112 reasons. And if you guys have been following me, I've been saying, why is it that we have to stay victims? Why is it that we have to stay victims? Because if you stay a victim, you can't move forward with your life. Did we forget who we are? In one word, you're telling me how great Black people are, but in the same breath, you're saying that we need programs and cheating to help us be great. Do you guys see where I'm going with that? We're great people, but at the same time, you're telling me we need a program or something to cheat to give us leverage over everybody else, when that's not the case. We can outwork anybody. We built this country, didn't we? Black people are resilient. I mean, that's what I believe. You put us in the situation, we're going to figure it out. Oh, you cut food stamps? We'll find a way. Oh, you did this? We'll find a way. Oh, I don't need no man. I'll just sell some cooch. We always find a way. I mean, I know that's extreme, but am I lying? So why are you telling me we need a DEI program that benefits white women more than anybody else? Even these programs, affirmative action, which has been around since the 60s, if affirmative action is supposed to help us, why have we lost so much wealth and land and housing since affirmative action was in place? Explain that. I don't get it, you guys. I just don't get it. Multifaceted said, Dems are trying to draw us back because they really believe we are dumb. Bye, Felicia. The Dems and the the Con-Black caucus need to go to the House. Yeah. Maureen, guys talking. You have a lot to my HVAC guy and I had a 2-hour convo about this administration. He said they had me fooled for years. I said, so are you saying you are a recovering Democrat? He laughed so hard. I said, yes, I am. White guy. Yeah. And that's what it is. Like I said, I know it's funny when people see I'm, when I say I'm a recovering Democrat, but it's the same premise, A lot of you guys are recovering Democrats, How many politicians will be taken out of Congress in handcuffs after the Doge findings? Will they target the black one? This is Daryl. No, Daryl. Not one of them. Not one of them will be held accountable. Because remember, the party is the same. It's the ruling party. Good cop, bad cop. But what do both of these parties want to do? They want to rob us deaf, dumb, and blind. Some of the stuff that was found in that Doge, that wasn't just Democrats. That was Republicans too. They're setting up these dummy companies and stuff and funneling money to themselves. Not one of them will be held accountable. And that's our fault. Damon says, all the Democrats are on the Doge radar. Yeah. And the difference is the Republicans are being quiet about it. See, but there are some Republicans that have been caught up in that. And it's most likely like the low-level Republicans you never hear about. Not you notice that only certain politicians go on like news cameras and they talk and stuff like that. The 300 and 400, they sit in the shadows and you don't really know anything about them. But there's a lot of Republicans that are caught up in that as well. Waters, Crockett, and Pelosi might go down first. Yeah, but they're not going to be held accountable because holding a politician accountable, that stopped under Nixon. When Nixon wasn't held accountable, nobody's going to be held accountable, politician-wise. Nobody. They will walk away. It is very rare you are going to see politicians taken away in handcuffs. It's going to be very rare. Very rare. Fort Washington, where I was stationed. What you you're at Fort Washington? Oh my God, I love that day. I could tell you some. Well, I could tell you some stories. Like I said, I was a young Thundercat back then. Like I don't think I could do what I did back then. But that flight suit had magical powers. I don't know what it was. She says no reply because they're cowards. Thunder has a question. This is the perfect chance to draw closer together and grab a hold of some resources and corner certain areas of the market and areas of labor. An example, trucking, plumbing, HVAC, electrical. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This right now, all this fear mongering and stuff, you guys don't fall for that. What did I say on Dimitri K. Show? I know Dimitri and I get into it, but it's true. When you are at the bottom of an economic system, it doesn't matter if a strong man comes in. It doesn't matter if a benevolent man comes in. It doesn't matter. You're still at the bottom of the economic system. So your life fundamentally doesn't change. You ain't got shit. You ain't going to have shit, right? When you're at the bottom, the only way to go is up. Example, Cuba. Black Cubans that look like us. 80% of those Black Cubans love Castro. Why is it that the white Cubans just detest him and whatever? Because they lost the most stuff. He took their businesses away. He took their gambling away. He took their prostitution away. He took their prohibition away. He took their houses away. And he educated and redistributed land to the dark-skinned Cubans. Why is Cuba the way it is? Because of sanctions by the United States. Because the United States doesn't want us to know that what Castro did for those dark Cubans that look like us. Because it gives the United States a black eye, like, wow, he did this for them and whatever. And these white Cubans are hollering and screaming to this very day about what they ain't got, what was taken from them and all that other stuff. But just think if those people went back to Cuba and got in power. What do you think would happen to the Black people that had been there now for over 60 years, right, under the Cuban Castro regime policies? You don't think those white Cubans would try to subjugate those Black Cubans again? That's why I look at these white Cubans and I'm saying, you've been out of power for 60 years. Whatever was, it's gone now. But for some reason, they think they're going to be restored to whatever it is that they're going to be restored. It's crazy. Let me get out of here. Daryl says, when Kamala went on stage for her government-controlled NAACP award, did you see the look on Tichina Arnold's face? If looks could kill. Yeah, I don't really watch award shows because they're for pimps and hoes. But yeah, once again, a black show is giving awards to non-black people. Damon says, by any means necessary, right? Multifold, Republican, Democrat, two sides of the same coin, none are for us, right? I believe Jasmine Crockett means well, but she is misguided where DEI is concerned. I have to disagree with you on that, multifaceted, because I don't listen to what they say. I go look in their congressional record. Look at her congressional record. She has nothing in there for black people. She has for dreamers. She has for illegals. She has for everybody else, but nothing for black people that will fundamentally help the people she represents in Dallas. I go by the paperwork. I got to look at your paperwork. If you ain't got one thing specific to the people that voted you in, your logical thing says, yeah, a boy in a flight suit could get me to do some strange things. That flight pay came in handy. Yes, that extra $150 a month, and I still get my career incentive aviator pay, which is another incentive I get. Fun facts, not feelings. Fun fact: Cuba created lung cancer vaccines almost a decade ago. That's what I'm saying. Why isn't that black people in this country don't know about that? African Diaspora News Channel, 20% off still. You guys still got 4 days if you want to get that 20% off annual subscription. But why don't we know about those things? Why is it that, when I hear black people talk about, I want to be a doctor, first thing I tell them, you can go to Cuba and you can be they'll train you to be a doctor for free. Go to Cuba. I don't want to go to Cuba. Yeah, I don't know anybody in Cuba. How bad do you want to be a doctor? So you want to come here, get all the debt, go through all the racism, and then wash out and then become a stripper? Come on. How bad do you want it? You're about to go. Donovan, I sent you a memo, a meme via email. Will definitely make you laugh. Okay, cool. Do that. I like to laugh during the day. Multifaceted. What would happen? The same thing that's happening in Africa with the Boers trying to take over. Right. And it's a new day. It's a new day. But here's the sad thing. Until the other generation moves on to that upper room, they are going to instill in their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren fear. Fear the white man and reverence of the white man, because that's all they know. And we let them do that. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and I had to remind her, stop talking all this fear stuff to me. It's a waste of time what I'm telling you. If you're afraid, you go right on ahead and be afraid. I'm a man. I don't want to hear anything about fear. Because when I was over in the Middle East fighting over there, and you weren't worried about me dying or whatever over there, fighting for whatever I'm fighting over there, you shouldn't be afraid of me fighting right here for my people right here. You moms have got to stop telling your sons to not stand up. How are you, now, ladies, please excuse my language, seriously, but I'm just a straight shooter. How are you guys giving grown-ass men pussy? And they're talking about they're afraid of Donald Trump, a man they will never meet. Well, I'm afraid of Donald Trump. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. What the fuck are you talking about? How are these guys getting pussy? That's what blows my mind. I just don't see how a woman could get wet from a man that is afraid to lose everything because he's standing up on principle. I don't understand it. But these guys are getting pussy. Excuse my language, ladies. I'll stop now. Dewan Gray says, hey, Donovan, many of us have done the work My mom stopped fooling with the Democrats before we are making progress on them, my brother. I know we will succeed. Yeah, my mom's an independent. My mom's an independent because she could not defend the tomfoolery anymore. And this is what I told her. I said, Mom, you should be an independent. When you're an independent, you can still vote all Democrat if you want. I said, but to give your allegiance to one party as a Black person, ridiculous. Facts, not feeling. Exactly, Donovan. My mom tells me the same madness about how she's scared of Trump. Yeah, it's insanity. Oh, I don't want my baby hurt, y'all. Don't you go out there. Then, ladies, stop complaining about these moist men not doing and stepping up and being real men, because you guys are moistening them. Is that a word? Is that a term? Is that a term? You guys get what I'm saying? You guys are, how can I say it? The Black woman is the backbone of the community, but if the backbone of the community is spineless in itself, how do you expect these Black men to go out there and defend you? How do we expect these things? You know, even some of my buddies, when they tell me, man, if Trump gets in there, it's going to affect my 401k. It's going to affect this. It's going to affect that. So what? Life to me is not worth living if I can't live the same as everybody else in this country. So you mean to tell me, Jasmine Crockett, I don't know what $5,000 is going to do for the American people, but you had no problem housing migrants at $7,000 a month. Illegal migrants, $7,000 a month. Cash, food, and housing, which amounted to $7,000 a month, and you're worried about American people getting $5,000. I'll tell you what, $5,000, I know a bunch of Americans that $5,000 would do a lot for. I mean, it's insanity. Yeah, your astrological thinker says dries up like the Sahara, talking like that. Exactly. Somebody has to do the defending. So Black people, we're so great, and we come from Mandingo, and we're Zulus, and all this other stuff, Nigerians, whatever, right? We keep telling ourselves this, but we don't practice it, right? In a village, ladies, not you average logical thinker and multifaceted, and you ladies that were in the military. If the town is attacked, as a woman, don't you expect the men and the boys to defend it? If the village is attacked, I don't care if my son is 13 years old. He is of age to pick up a weapon and help me defend the village. I don't want my baby hurt. Who's going to do the fighting? Then who's going to do it? Who's going to stand up and take the arrows so that you don't have to and the next generation doesn't have to? We are not in the business of giving out money to the American people. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you. Yeah, facts, not feelings. But yet you gave all this money to Ukraine and the illegals and all this money. Our money that they take out of our paychecks. What is she talking about? This woman has served 2 terms in Congress and she's already worth $9 million. Explain that. Yeah, she's Michelle. She is a Maxine Waters replacement. Maxine doesn't have long to live here on this earth. I mean, I hate to say it. The clock is ticking on Maxine. It's just a matter of time because only the Black politicians die with their hands on the power. They will not give it up. It's crazy. Thunder says facts. More men need to think and act like men again. And to the misandrous man doesn't equal abuser or tyrant. Exactly. These emotional, girly men, like Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say. These girly men. What's going on here? You know, stop telling your boys to be men. You know, my mom is a widow. Till this day, my mother does not understand why I am so alpha male, because she didn't raise me that way. She raised me to be a nice, respectable young man. She didn't raise me to be a sissy, but my Ike Turner ways, she doesn't understand what that's about. But I knew within myself, I'm different than a woman. I'm ordained by God to be the leader of my family. You know, and that's just my belief. You know, that's my individual belief. Some of you ladies got to do what you got to do. You know, you're leading your families, and a lot of you guys are doing a great job. But unfortunately, a lot of y'all aren't, you know. Yeah, Dewan says they want to demasculize the image of the black man by constantly saying the black woman is the backbone. The backbone. Our people must remember the ancient saying about the devil whispering in the ears with evil. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But a community goes no higher than its woman. I do believe that. If we don't protect the image of our women, we don't protect the sanctity of our women. Because we all have a role. The women's role is to nurture, raise, and teach our children to a certain age, especially the boys. You know, I'm just saying, for me, at about 9 years old, I think the boys should go with the fathers. At that point, the mothers let the boys go, you know, go with the fathers, and you keep the girls, you know, teach them how to be women, wives, and all that other stuff. Daryl says, when MLK Malcolm got killed, the Panthers got disbanded. That did a number on Black Americans. Yeah, and that goes to show you the cowardice in Black Americans. We say this in the military all the time, Daryl. When I go overseas, if I have to fight for your freedom, you don't deserve to be free. If you're not willing to fight for your own freedom, you do not deserve to be free. The American military is nothing now more than a mercenary force that goes around the globe in the name of the oligarchs. That is a fact. We have not won any wars since Desert Storm. And that's even questionable, because you had to have a Desert Storm too. So we didn't even finish that job. Michelle says, my husband is an alpha male as well. I love it and wouldn't have it any other way. I do not like a weak beta man. You know, when I used to date, I always dated women that were older than me, you know, 4 years. Yeah, that's my little thing, 4 years older than me. I didn't really date girls younger than me. They were either my age or older. I had this one, I was 21 and she was older than me, taught me a lot about being a man, you know, and relationships. And she's the one that really pushed my education. So I still give her a lot of credit today for my education and stuff. But like when there would be like things that would happen and, you know, I'd have to step in and I have to get aggressive, she would get moist. She would get hot and bothered when I had to put on my alpha male, you know, thing on, and just, it just turned her on. That's why I'm looking at, you know, grown women today that are my age and stuff. And I'm like, how are you with this guy that's worried about an orange man? You know, if I was with any of you ladies that are single in there and I lost my job, yeah, I'm going to be down and out. And I'm going to tell you about it, but you're not going to see any worry on my face. Yeah, hey girl, I got to do what I got to do. You know, I'm gonna go out here and legally, because the guys that just do the John Q thing, that's different if it's a John Q situation. But I just look at these guys like, you are almost 60 years old and you're worried individually what's going to happen to you. So I bring this back up. All of those people who made a stance January 6th and went to jail for what they believed in, what happened to all of those people? I think they all got pardoned. They stood on their convictions. One lady got killed, unfortunately. That's what I'm saying. Why are we so worried about our individual accolades. How long do you think it's going to be once they get rid of the majority of us, then they come for that small boule? How long do you think that's going to be? Do you think the white man, from what I understand of the white man, do you think he gives a fuck that you're a multi-millionaire? All he knows is you're a black person and you're beneath him. That's his ideology. It's never changed. All you are is a nigger with money. And he's soon going to take that from you. You want to know why? Because there's not enough black people in Congress legislating laws to protect us as a group of people. Stephen Hill says, my many lady friends used to tell me that. I was too militant and my dad always wanted me with him when we went somewhere together because I didn't play about his safety. Exactly. Facts, not feelings. My mom still can't understand why I have to believe in an eye for an eye when it comes to white supremacy. She tells me about we will all go blind nonsense. And I tell her, good, let us all be blind then. Exactly. And see, a lot of these Christians, in my opinion, they misinterpret the Bible. And what I mean by that is they take the Old Testament and they say, well, the Old Testament is irrelevant because Jesus Christ came in and whatever. I personally don't believe that. So the 10 Commandments now has no relevance because it was in the Old Testament. Leviticus, which teaches you how to live and how to eat, that has no relevance. So it's a free-for-all. If we read the New Testament, Jesus Christ said, it is better to forgive than it is to seek revenge, right? I'm paraphrasing. To seek revenge. Jesus Christ said that. It is better to forgive than to seek revenge. But he also said, if you must have revenge, be it no more than what happened to you. So an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's in both testaments. So I don't know. And it's written. I was like, how can you misinterpret that? You're a logical thinker. Donovan, we have to be honest about that. A lot of these fathers don't want full custody of these kids because trust me, mine and trust mine and get go. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And I always say this, you're a logical thinker. We have raised 3 generations now of young boys raised predominantly by females who are doing the best that they can. And these boys that were raised by some of these females have taken on female traits of responsibility, irresponsibility, and all that other stuff. Think about it. Think about it. If I'm raised predominantly by a mother that has no damn sense and she's a 304 or she's just hood or whatever, accountability to women is kryptonite. It is. They don't want to be held accountable for anything. If a woman gets in trouble and she has children, and let's say she was shoplifting at Walmart, what's the first thing that she's going to say? Oh, I've got kids at home. You're going to use your children as an excuse, like that is some kind of power base to give you an exception to what it is you did. Right? So those women that we're talking about, that you guys, not you, but other women don't call out the bad behavior and the BS that's going on, the casual sex that leads to unwanted pregnancies and all this other stuff. These are the women that raise these young boys, and they teach these young boys only what they know. That's why these boys have effeminate traits. That's just how it's going to be. When I was in the military and I would see these boys get emotional, and excuse my language again, but I'm going to talk as a military person. Fellas, you guys, you are my military folks. When I say shut the fuck up, right? Everybody go silent. It's no big deal. When I was growing up, when a young boy got yelled at, that was no big deal. That was just part of being a boy. But I noticed that these young boys, didn't I say shut the fuck up? Yes, sir, but shut the fuck up. Then I would ask them, were you raised with the father in your life? well, yeah, but no, he wasn't in the home. I see. I can see that. I can see. You can just tell. You can tell by their mannerisms. Because as a man, when another man that has authority over me tells me to shut the fuck up, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Let's go to you women. When you guys are at the job and the white man tells you be at this job at this time, you guys are usually there. But your man that's supposed to be your man at home tells you to do something. Nigga, you can't tell me nothing. You ain't my daddy. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. Only my father can tell me nothing. I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want. I got these kids. I'm the one in charge here. This is my house. This is my apartment. That's the first thing you guys do in general. You guys know what I'm talking about. Come on. You know what I'm talking about. But again, and the sad thing is, it gives you good moms a bad reputation. It really does. Thunder says a lot of the emotional young men are that way because the lack of male discipline. Yeah, I learned early in life how I'm supposed to act and carry myself from my father through constant correction and discipline. Yeah, I lost my father at a young age, but my mother was smart enough to surround me with positive men. There was a boys' club I would go to, just all around me. Like I said, if I was president and I needed an advisor, one of the main people I would hire is my uncle. Uncle Bennett, wise wisdom. He's always given me wise counsel. Always. You have logical thing. I know exactly what you're talking about, Donovan, and your ex. It's a thing. Yeah, it's just, it's going to rub off. And it's, and again, I give women grace on that because you're a woman. You can't teach manly principles because that isn't what you were designed to do. You were designed to be a woman. I'm designed to be a man. That's it. When I see women fighting to go out and work, I look at them like, that is insanity. When I go to the mall and I see the Arab lady that is so oppressed in her hijab, and she's so oppressed getting out of her Mercedes SUV, and she goes to the mall with her little infant baby and she's walking, getting back in shape or whatever the deal is, I say, wow, this lady is so oppressed that she's just running to the law enforcement to be free. I can't, you guys. I just can't do this anymore with you guys. I can't. The insanity. Facts, not feelings, says, I was once arguing with an older woman friend of mine. I told her I don't beat around the bush. I beat in the bush. You can get what bush I was beating. Yeah, exactly. Straight talk. Daryl Jinks is so true, Donovan. When a lot of rich Black people move to white neighborhoods, they feel great. But behind the scenes, white supremacy hates you with a passion. Yes, they do. Thunder, the best compliment a woman ever gave me was, you make me feel safe. I know when I'm with you, I'm going to be safe and you won't let anything happen to me. As a man, that makes me stand even taller. How many of you guys have heard of the 4 Ps, right? There's 4 Ps that men are supposed to do. One of the 4 Ps is protection. No, the 4 P isn't but that sort of is part of it. Protection, productivity, work, procreation, and I forgot what the 3rd P is, but you guys can look it up. You guys can Google it, the 4 Ps of manhood, and it'll tell you what it is. True TV talk, exactly. But hey, you guys, thank you guys for joining. I didn't want to be on here this long, but again, before I go, I want to share this with you guys one more time. It is ironic because Trump firing a Black 4-star general as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff only to name a less qualified white man to the same job is the reason why DEI policies exist in the first place. They're using the policies that were supposed to uplift other groups to uplift their group. Make it make sense. All right, you guys, look, Demetra is at the airport right now. They will be deporting her from California at 2:00 back to Houston. She turned her back on our state when we needed her. I told you guys we're going to get her up out of here. Join us tomorrow for the podcast and the regular talk. For those guys that don't know, the minister did not speak yesterday. The minister is in his 90s. He had another minister talk. Minister Farrakhan did not talk. He had another minister talk. They have put the rebroadcast up. If you guys want to see that, you can go on noi.org, and you can see the rebroadcast of the message. And paraphrasing, basically, we've been given the message for years. For years. When are we going to start listening to it? When are we going to start believing we are that great people we keep telling everybody else about? But to me, it doesn't seem that we believe it. It's almost like being a pastor, a prosperity pastor. We keep telling people how great we are, but yet we don't show it. No black corporations, no black businesses, no black lawyers fighting in the Supreme Court, nothing. But yeah, when you get to heaven, you're going to have a Mercedes. Why would I need a Mercedes if I'm in heaven? Yeah. Well, Thunder, of course, as a Catholic, I know the Pope is not well. I think he has a kidney failure, they said. They got him on he's double pneumonia and a kidney failure. Yeah, so he's on his last leg. And so we'll be looking for another Pope. God forbid, if that's God's will, soon. But we got to start believing in the bullshit that we keep talking. You want these DEI programs. Now you get mad because they're using the DEI program for the benefit of their people, for the benefit of people other than black. 60-something, 70 years of affirmative action, and black people are no better now than we were then. Make it make sense. Facts Not Feeling, breaking news. Another C-19 virus was detected in China, and they are keeping an eye on it. What? Que sera, sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. What you guys need to, I'm going to give you a recommendation. What you guys need to listen to is a song by Brad Jordan and Tupac Shakur. It's called Smile. There's going to be a lot of pain and stuff going on, but through all of this, we need to smile and stay out of other people's business and worry about our own business. And maybe now the Democrats will start doing something tangible. Not when I get in the office. Give it to us now. You're gonna reintroduce reparations when you don't control nothing. It's not even gonna make the floor. It's not even gonna make the floor. Only the Speaker of the House could bring a bill to the floor. Jasmine Crockett and her group. Alana Presley. We're going to do this, and how? Explain it. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Republicans are in control. How are you going to do it? We need to start believing that we are great people, because what I'm seeing, we ain't believing what's coming out of our mouths. We don't believe it. So thank you guys for joining me. Join us tomorrow. Same time, same channel, all that stuff. Do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe if you guys haven't done that, but share this on your platforms and to some of your groups. Because again, if the Democrats were in power, they would be trying to shut down free speech. They don't want this information getting out. That is why they have lost the elections the way they have. Joy Reid, gone. White supremacy, when they're done with their tools, they break them. And guess what? Joy Reid will be down here on YouTube soon enough. All right, you guys, be safe, be blessed, and keep educating those people out there that need an education. Just wake them up. It's just a matter of time. But ask those people that, why are they upset at this DEI thing? Isn't that the whole point of DEI? It blew my mind when I really thought about it. Logic. All right, you guys. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow.